Hello and welcome, everybody. We are back here for the Wholehearted Truths. I am your host, Emily, and I'm so excited today to bring you a special guest. This is different than the Joe. At this point, you've seen 2 episodes with the Joe, and I am bringing on one of my great friends who messaged and said, hey, we should do a podcast episode about this. And I'm like, absolutely, we should. So same thing as always, we got a little bit of sass mixed with grit, grace, and a whole lot of faith, leading you to endless possibilities. And this girl has got some sass. She's got a sassy lipstick on if you're watching on YouTube. So I'm going to let her quick introduce herself and we'll get rocking. So Melissa, take it away, girl. Tell us a little bit about you, your family, what you do, anything you want to share.
So y'all, I am Melissa Aiken from Augusta, Georgia. And for all of Emily's friends that are in Wisconsin, they're like, yep, she's from the South. I am a physical therapist. So I literally worked at the hospital today. I work in acute care, mostly ICU. And I'm 48 years old, married for almost 20 years to my husband, Matt Aiken. And we have a daughter who's graduating, y'all, this weekend.
So exciting, all the fun things in life. Well, thank you for spending some time with us here today. And I love that you reached out and messaged me because I am always on fire about sharing this message. But when we can all rally together and share it, that's when really powerful things happen, is that story sharing. So Melissa, I know that MTHFR is near and dear to your heart as well. So tell us why. Like, why does this matter? How has this impacted your family? Tell us all the things.
And y'all, it's crazy that I would start this conversation being a little emotional talking about it, but it does bring emotion to me because I know where I was, y'all, 6 years ago, that I struggled with sinus infections, just really couldn't be the wife, couldn't be the mother to my child, and just had no energy. And literally, had I not done the genetic testing, I just wouldn't have known about B6 deficiency. The MTHFR just explains so much reasoning of like, why was I accumulating so much belly fat? I mean, just to like backtrack to y'all to know who I used to be. At age like 17, 18, y'all, I ran track, set a record for my school. I was always very fit and like competed at a very high level, set a record that wasn't broken at my school for like 24 years in the 100 meter. And then, fast forward about 12 years and I, have my daughter, and then I just start going through all these allergies and sickness and just feel like I can't get the weight off and I can't get rid of being sick. So the MTHFR made the explanation of like belly fat accumulation, sickness, depression, feeling like so much shame. Because let me tell you, for those that don't know about MTHFR, that MTHFR is where basically food, so folic acid in foods like bread, cereals, those foods are like toxic. So think of like it's my kryptonite. And so my body cannot get rid of that. So my kidneys, my liver are not able to filter that. So it's just building up. And especially it wraps itself in fat, stores it close to the organs until it uses something to help me shed and get rid of it off my body.
And Melissa, the other thing that I love to talk about with this too is like, there are so many things out on the market that I see and I just shake my head where like you're thinking, for example, for women that it's a prenatal vitamin and it will say folate, but if you read a little bit further down, oh yeah, guess what? There's a little bit of folic acid because it's cheaper. And so we're not really getting that actual, what we think it's supposed to be. So you mentioned breads, cereals. What are some simple changes that you and your family have made, or maybe some systems that you've implemented?
Well, thankfully, through the company that both Emily and I are a part of, that we have methylated folate. So that is a vitamin that our body is so desperate. Our body actually needs folate, which just so y'all know, like, so my body needed spinach because it has a very high amount of folate that God put in the earth. My body needs things like black beans, broccoli I've incorporated. Even beets became something I was the pickiest eater. And because, guys, when you've suffered enough, you will eat chalk if it made you healthy. And so literally I looked, because our company with the DNA testing gives a report of like all the higher levels, like chickpeas, garbanzo beans, those things have the highest level of food with the folate. So those foods, I make sure I put like 1, 2, 3 servings a day so that my body is feeling its best. To, have what it needs. And so that methylated folate and me doing the food is what my body needs for it to do its best.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a nice simple system too. It's a 30-day, really total body reset where some people are going to do that more often. In this house, we never stop it. I'm actually low-key jealous of my Joe because he does this 24/7. But guess what? His body's at an 80% compromised rate of filtering through toxins. And guess where they're normally coming through? Our skin, our hands. We don't live in a bubble. And so it's really important to take these protective factors into consideration for yourself, for your family, those
Yep.
around you, right? So, Melissa, what's one thing that you want everybody to really hear today about MTHFR and everything that we're talking about?
I think that for people that have gone through sickness, or let's just say for that person that's listening, that their labs have just been really crazy. Maybe their liver enzymes, maybe they just have something going on that it feels like their joints or their stomach, or just even they've gone through severe depression. Know that those are definite signs that are just saying, hey, you need to consider doing this test to see if you have a single mutation or a double. So her husband, Joe, has the double. I have the single variant. And so through having these answers, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to either feel like you're obese. You don't have to feel depressed all the time. You can just feel like there's hope. And man, I mean, I know Emily will agree with you. Hope to have an answer for the long term is like victory, like freedom for the first time in your life.
Oh, it's so true. It's right in the tagline, hope, habits, and happiness. Well, listen, you all know that you get homework every time you listen to this podcast because I don't want you to just listen and go about your life. I want you to listen and then implement that. So your homework for today is to go into your kitchen. I want you to look on 5 different things. So go pick out 5 foods from your cupboard, from your fridge, wherever, and I want you to see if that word folic acid pops up. If not, big thumbs up to you. If it does, hey, we're here to help you. Let us know. Our community is incredible for helping with swaps and other alternatives. So with that, we will leave you all and have a beautiful rest of the day.